Welcome back, friends. Here in this lecture, we're going to learn about JVM, JRE, and JDK, the difference between the Java Virtual Machine, Java Runtime Environment, and Java Development Kit. So let's start. These three are the vital components when it comes to compiling your Java programs and deploying it on a machine, be it a client or server. First, we have to develop an understanding of what these components are and how our code is being deployed. So JVM is the basic component called as a virtual machine, where we have bytecode. In the previous scenarios, where with the C++ or C programming languages, there we have the program code, a high-level programming language that is being written by a developer, which is being directly compiled to the machine code. Uh, but with Java, we have an intermediate code called bytecode, which is required to support the machine independence platform. For C programming, we have different machine codes for the same high-level instructions provided by a user or developer for different machines. Suppose I have an Intel machine, the ARM machine, IBM machine. I have to compile my C program differently on different machines. So it will take time. But with Java, I have to compile it once in either of the machine and then export the bytecode dot class files uh, by running it on different JVMs, virtual machines, on different computers. JVM uh, takes bytecode and execute the machine code for that instance. So it is an abstract machine which is used to function on the bytecode to convert a Java file into class file and class file to machine file. It is a specification that provides a runtime environment in which Java bytecode can be executed. Uh, it could be also useful for getting a programs that could be written in other languages and compiled directly to Java bytecode. We don't necessarily need a Java programming language for running it on the JVM. Languages like Scala and Kotlin that use the Java bytecode as an intermediate code also run on the JVM. The Android Java programs run on the special variation of JVM. Then these are the platform dependent. JVM, JRE, and JDK are platform dependent. It depends on the machine on which it is installed. It depends on the configuration of a different OS based on a Windows, Linux, or Mac. However, Java is platform independent. To make Java platform independent, these things have to be installed for different platforms because they will run the same instruction code or bytecode on different machines. There are certain main tasks for JVM that performs. It loads the code, the Java code, verifies the code, it executes the code. It provides a runtime environment for running those things. So here's the difference between these three things, JVM, JRE, and JDK. It could be understood here. Uh, First of all, we have a source file called Java files that is being compiled by the Java compiler, Java C, which is a component of JDK, Java Development Kit. Uh, it generates a class file which is provided to JVM, a Java virtual machine, which works with other libraries that are stored in the Java runtime environment. So JVM is a subset of JRE and JRE is a subset of JDK. So JDK consists of JRE and JVM and JRE consists of JVM. Here it is very simply done. So in certain devices, we don't need to install the complete JDK. We may also get our optimal results by installing the JRE as well. And in certain devices like a smart TV or things like that, we only need a small component of JVM to execute the bytecodes. So Java Runtime Environment is an acronym here for JRE. It is also written as Java RTE. It provides the environment, which is set of software tools that are used for developing Java applications. When we are writing code on the Java on our system, we need the JDK, JRE, and JVM all as well together. But for running a user script, say if you have developed a website with Java and your client who is not a developer in Java, he need to download the applet code or view those things. He only need the JVM, not the JRE or neither the JDK. It is for development purpose only. So the implementation of JVM is done with the JRE. It physically exists. It contains a set of libraries plus other files that JVM uses at runtime. So here's the development kit where we have the complete API, the libraries and different things that we need to develop or write our code on the Java. So it is a completing. Here we get an interpreter, the loader, and the Java, the compiler, Java C, and the archiver, jar file, Java archive file, and document generator, the Java doc. We will be going to learn these things in the command scenario where we can compile or write and compile our code using the command prompt or terminal to complete the development of applications. Here the JVM comes with library classes to define the runtime environment, and if you add the development tools, it will be JDK. So there are different tools that are provided with JRE and JDK. With JRE, you get the Java interpreter, Java W, different libraries, and different set of jar files. With JVM, you got a just-in-time compiler to compile the bytecode, read, verify, and execute the bytecode. With JDK, you got a Java C, Java compiler, jar generator, Java archive generator, and debugger, the debugger tools, and Java P, the documentation, and different tools as well. It is a hierarchy how it works, the flow diagram. We have the source code, it is provided to JDK consisting of compiler. Then we have the bytecode on different set of machines. In our machine, we only generate the bytecode, so we need the complete JDK. But when we provide our class files or even the jar file to different machine, we only need that machine only need to have JRE or either the JVM only. So suppose we have, so how it is compiled. Suppose we have a file called example.java. The example is a class name. We will learning in the coming lectures. We have to compile the file, save the file, convert it, compile it to the class files, load it to different devices, machines, and where the JRE, the runtime environment, has to function different work. It has to load the class files, generate the bytecode verifier, and interpret those things, provide it to the runtime and to the hardware, the machine code which is being implemented there. So this was the basic different understanding of JRE, JVM, and JDK. These are not very complex things, but if you are learning to Java programming, you have to better understand where your codes go on the machine. We will learning more in the coming videos. Till then, keep learning and keep moving ahead.